Hey, what's going on, guys? So I wanted to kind of talk to you guys about something I thought would be pretty interesting, which is Boruto Uzumaki not only learning about the history of the Uzumaki clan, but also learning about the fact that his clan, the clan that he shares a bloodline with, was so powerful and so feared that it took several nations teaming up in order to wipe out the clan to the point where they've been dispersed, where they're living in other villages, and in some cases they're living to themselves. That Boruto has something special about him just based off of the bloodline. And I really feel as if that would be a really good angle to take. And here's the reason why. Here's why I think that would be a really good idea. Now, when it comes to the character Boruto Uzumaki, Boruto is pretty ignorant. And I don't say that as an insult. I really don't say that as an insult. But when you look at Boruto, like in particular in the Boruto movie and even in the Boruto anime, right? Like in the Boruto anime, I just watched the episode where Naruto is protecting all of the villagers, right? And when Boruto was seeing how much chakra Naruto's putting out, when Boruto was seeing how far his father would be going to protect the village, it just opened my eyes to the fact that not only is Shino probably the worst teacher in Konoha history, because how do you teach the new generation and they know nothing about how powerful the seventh Hokage is? They know nothing about how powerful. It's like, oh, this is Dad's true power? Oh my God, I didn't know Dad was this powerful. This is like, Shino, when you start talking about the Hokage, you don't start with the first Hokage. You say, yeah, that little kid's dad was so strong that he split the moon in half with a punch. And he saved the world twice, maybe three times if you count Sasuke. And guess what? Hey, you, that kid with the lowest test scores, guess what? The seventh Hokage was an idiot. If you work really hard, you could probably be the eighth Hokage. Let's start the lesson, guys. But not like in all seriousness, though, right? In all seriousness, when you look at Boruto and his ignorance into how powerful Naruto is, and just how powerful the other people in Naruto's generation are, it allows the great opportunity for Kodachi and the writing team to start giving fans more stuff that a lot of people have been interested in, which is, okay, the Uzumaki clan were that powerful. People had to team up. Well, what about their sealing jutsu was so feared? What else was there about their clan that was so remarkable that the first Hokage, a guy who by himself was strong enough to make the tail beasts his pets, he literally made the tail beasts his pets, had them under his control, and then told the other nations like, yeah, I don't like how we're doing all this fighting. Here, you get a Biju. You get a Biju. You already got a Biju? Okay, you're good. But you don't have one? Okay, well, fuck it. You take two Biju. Hashirama handed the Biju out in an attempt to stop all the fighting, okay? But the Nine Tails was kept. And after the fight with Mito Uchiha, Mito, during the fight, that was stated in the manga, during the fight, she sealed the QB inside of herself. She took it from presumably took it from under the control of Madara and sealed it inside of herself to help to help Hashirama defeat Madara. Kushina said it. She sealed the QB inside of her in order to give this first Hokage her power to aid him in the battle against Mito Uchiha. So the Uzumaki are really, really powerful. When you look at the QB, only an Uzumaki has had the power of the QB. We know that they have like the different chakra chains and everything. We know they have the sealing shrines, the sealing mask and the sealing jutsu, and they have the shrine, they have that no shrine. And the thing is, it's like when Orochimaru was looking for the way to bring the dead Hokage back, he went to the shrine of the Uzumaki clan outside of the village. Keep that in mind. Outside of the village exists an Uzumaki shrine that has all these different masks, and there's probably some scrolls littered through there. Or for plot convenience, there can be scrolls hidden there that Boruto finds. But we need to have Boruto explore that. We need to have Boruto go into that shrine. We need to have Boruto learn more about his clan. We need to have Boruto learn some of that sealing ninjutsu. We need to have Boruto explore his clan, because when you think about it, the Uchiha gets praised for being this noble clan, one of the founding clans of Konoha, and yet at the same time the Uzumaki were pretty badass themselves. And it would allow us to move from the fact that, yeah, Boruto's not gonna be as strong as Naruto, but at the same time, hey, that'd be pretty damn interesting. The fact that Boruto's learning so many of the sealing ninjutsu and sealing jutsu and all the different crazy techniques that the Uzumaki clan have, that what he doesn't have in Naruto's hacks or power, what he doesn't have in Naruto's raw power, he makes up for by having the Uzumaki hacks. What if Boruto's able to use the chakra chains? I know people's like, well, Naruto can use them. No. When the chains came out of Naruto's body, it was Kushina's chakra. That's why I say read the manga, because in the manga, Kurama says this chakra, Kushina. And then the chakra chains are coming out of Naruto. Kushina was acting through Naruto. Naruto doesn't have these chakra chains, but it'd be pretty cool if Boruto not only had Minato's intellect, but he had the ability like Kushina to use those adamantium chakra chains that the Uzumaki are known for. And if Boruto had mastery over them and could use them in battle some kind of way, that would be pretty cool as well. Another thing that's really popular is the fact that when it comes to the karma seal that's on Boruto's body, what if, I know that was given by Momoshiki, but what if the Uzumaki, part of what made them so feared was the fact that they had something similar to that, or if they had some type of connection to that karma seal to where they had information based on it. Because when it comes to Kage's clan, if you take the Naruto Shippuden filler, which I hate saying this because I did some digging into this, and I hate the fact that you have to consider that filler arc somewhat canon. I hate saying that. I hate using the canon word anyway, but I hate saying that because I found one of the old tweets that one of the anime directors was talking about, and apparently Kishimoto gave information to help the anime staff on that Kage arc, which would explain why a lot of that whole repetition and like the different homages, like Ashura using the Rasengan and Indra awakening the Mangekyo and having his own version of Chidori, all these other little things explains why it got put into the anime. But we know that for a while, Kaguya was on planet Earth. We know that, people knew who she was. So what if you had people from the Uzumaki who kept records of that? I mean, that would be interesting. That would be a nice way to kind of tie some of this stuff in there. It would create some plot holes. But the thing about plot holes is if you do the correct amount of writing, if you do it in a skillful way, you can make retcons to fix these plot holes. I mean, that would be pretty interesting. And I feel as if the only reason why Boruto has that karma seal is they realize like we need to find a way to make Boruto powerful really, really fast. And I think they went about it the wrong way. I think that we should have had Boruto focusing on his lineage as an Uzumaki's way to do so. The same way that the anime made some changes to the Naruto Gaiden adaptation, where it's Sarada researching the Uchiha clan, where all of a sudden, very conveniently, there's a book in the forbidden section that she can't get to. There should be books on the Uzumaki. There should be scrolls on the Uzumaki that only high-ranking ninja can get to, and it would give us more incentive to follow Boruto and Sarada as they go through the ranks and gain access to that. That'd be pretty interesting. Like I know, like me when I was reading the Harry Potter books, and the Harry Potter books are coming out, right? Like one of the huge things was like, oh, the restricted section of the library, what's in there, and you have to be a certain year before you can gain access to it. And so when Harry and all the different people were sneaking into it, it felt dangerous. You can play with that same element in the Boruto series where, this information is locked away. That would be something interesting where, basically Boruto's like, yeah, rules don't apply to me. I'm the Hokage's son. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to learn all this stuff in here. I mean, that would be an homage to Orochimaru basically saying, yeah, there's information that's forbidden. I want to learn more. Boruto's a genius, so you wouldn't have to study it too long. I mean, there are different ways to kind of handle that, but I want to know what you guys think. Do you think that they need to focus more on the Uzumaki clan when it comes to Boruto for the audience, for the readers to start learning more about the Uzumaki clan through the scope of Boruto, where we're just as ignorant as Boruto? Do you think that's a good idea? But as always, before we get out of here, gotta remind you all that Senju DNA is love and Senju DNA is life.